I'm working on a 2015 Mazda 3. This is the manual transmission, and I believe this is the Sport. So basically, customer got a little fender bender, as you can see. So the whole control arm, strut tower, or the shock itself, and sway bar and link, and inner and outer tie rod are bent. So if you want to see all the other videos on how to replace those, I will be posting those up. They're going to be in each individuals, but for the first part, we're going to go ahead and replace the control arm, and then so on from there. But at least you'll know how to replace the other parts in this video, or in these videos that are going to be categorized with this car. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, and then comment down below for anything, and then you'll be getting more notifications once you subscribe on future videos that I will be posting up. And then we'll go ahead and start this video right after this intro. We're going to take off the rim first, and then we're going to be using a 21mm. From the jacking up points, I actually jacked it up from the pinch weld. I don't like using the pinch weld, but for my situation, since the lower control arm is all jacked up, the whole car was all bottomed out, so I didn't want to work a little bit more. So we can jack it up from right there, and then put our jack stand on the subframe itself. So as you can see right there, not on the control arm, but on the subframe, depending on which side you're working on. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this cotter pin back. So you're just going to pull back and then just pretty much just wiggle it right out. And then you're going to need a 17mm. I already broke this one free. Now I would leave on the nut, because we're going to go ahead and hit this with the hammer, because if this side's still good, and then basically we would just replace the inner tie rod, and if the outer tie rod's good, we don't have to worry about that. But I mean, you might as well replace it since you're there. Now before we knock this out, we need to make sure that we make our markings on this. So we'll mark this nut and then mark the threads with the whiteout pen. So just like this, and then same thing. And I'll go ahead and show that later, that process where it's white out. So this will basically kind of give us our alignment. Now we are going to count the threads on the new one versus the old one. Just want to make sure that you understand that. You will need to get an alignment right after this, because obviously with the machine it's more precise as versus doing it by hand. Then we're going to be using an adjustable wrench. I believe this is either 20 or 21. I don't know off the top of my head. But so we'll go ahead and put this on. This will actually work as good. And then obviously we're just gonna obviously lefty loosey, but as versus you're gonna be tightening it right, but it's actually in theory it's gonna be lefty loosey. So I'm gonna be using a 2.5 pound hammer. Basically this will actually work pretty well. Now you want to hit the knuckle right here until it pops free. And just like that. And for this guy, I just need to loosen this just so we can spin it off. Then we're going to go ahead and take off this snap ring. We'll pull that right off. We'll set that aside because we're going to need it for later. And then right there, this guy, you can either use a flathead just to dig that right out and break that apart. You are going to need a zip tie to hold that in place. And then we'll just pull this guy back, as long as we got it broken free, and then we'll deal with it right after. And then for this, we'll just put a flathead screwdriver right in there, just to break that little startup seal, and then we'll just push it right out. Okay, so seeing where this is at, it's too far in, so what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, depending on which side you are. Since I'm on the passenger side, I need to go all the way to the left. If you're on the driver's side, you need to turn the wheel all the way to the right, because we want this guy to stick right out. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and loosen the bolt. We got it as far as possible, so hopefully I can get enough reach on that. Here's our inner tie rod, and then we'll go ahead and reverse the order. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and install our part. We'll just spin it right back on. And once it's all the way in, we'll go ahead and tighten that. And I'll try to hit it with the hammer so it's in there. So now basically the way how we're going to go ahead and reference this, we're going to kind of count how many threads that we did take off, or you can count the ones that are away from. So whatever is more easier for you. And so what I like to use, a flathead screwdriver, and then you can start from the bottom and then work your way to the top. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. So on the 34 line right here, this is where we're going to need to have the nut stop. So we're going to go ahead and count this one too as well. That'll be our stop mark. And we'll go ahead and put on back on our boot. I don't have any zip ties at the moment, so I'm going to see if I could try to make this work just like this. So hopefully, so basically what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to just squeeze this together with some pliers. So that works out pretty well. So yeah, it is reusable, so we're actually pretty fine on that. So then we'll go ahead and slap this guy right back on. And then we'll put on our nut. We'll go ahead and use the original one. So then we're going to go ahead and screw in our new outer tie rod. And then so we're going to go ahead and just tighten this nut. And then we're going to hold this bracket right here. Just like that. And so let's say if this was like that, you just basically spin it manually with your hand. And then we'll go ahead and just turn the wheel all the way to the left. And just wiggle the knuckle left and right. So then we're going to go ahead and put in our new castle nuts. And then we'll put in our cotter pin. We're pretty much done at that point. Then go ahead and take it to the alignment shop right after you're done with that, and then we'll be good to go. And when you tighten the bolts, you want to go in the star pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions regarding these jobs. And then if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos, and thanks for watching.